There's a ghost living in your chest, and it has their face. You feel it when you wake up. That split second before reality crashes in. When you forget, they're gone and reach for your phone expecting their name. You feel it in the silence between songs, in the empty space where their voice used to live. And the cruelest part isn't that they left. It's that they never fully arrived. They existed in the in-between, in the almosts and maybes, in the promises that dissolved like sugar in rain. You're haunted by someone who was never even fully yours. And everyone keeps telling you to move on, to let go, to stop giving energy to someone who doesn't deserve it. But they don't understand. This isn't about deserving. This isn't about logic or self-respect or any of those clean, simple answers people throw at complicated feelings. This is about the way a soul recognizes another soul, about the way certain people carve themselves into you without permission, leaving marks that don't fade just because they stop calling. You're not broken for feeling this. You're not weak for remembering. You're human, and your heart speaks a language that has nothing to do with who texts back. Let me tell you what's really happening inside you right now. You're not missing them. You're missing the person you became when you thought they saw you. There's a version of yourself that only existed in their presence. A softer version. A braver version. A version that laughed differently and dreamed bigger and felt permission to want things you'd buried years ago. When they looked at you, even for those brief moments, you felt seen in a way that made you remember you were alive. Not just existing, not just surviving, but truly alive. And when they stopped looking, that version of you didn't know where to go. So it stands at the door of your mind, waiting, hoping, replaying every glance and word and touch like a desperate prayer. You're not addicted to them. You're addicted to who you were allowed to be when they were near, to the light they reflected back to you. The light you forgot was yours all along. And now you're sitting in the dark, wondering if that light died with their silence. But here's the truth they never told you. That light was never theirs to give. They were just a mirror, and you've been searching for yourself in the wrong reflection. Some connections don't live in phone calls or text messages. They live in the space between breaths, in the quiet hum beneath your heartbeat, in dreams you can't quite remember but wake up feeling. You know this is real because you felt them without them being there. You thought of them at 3 a.m. and later discovered they were awake at that exact moment, restless with the same unnamed ache. You've walked into rooms and felt their presence like a temperature drop, like the air remembering something your mind refuses to forget. This is what people mean when they talk about soul ties, about energetic cords, about invisible threads that bind certain people across time and distance. It sounds like magic until it happens to you, and then it just sounds like truth. The scientific world calls it quantum entanglement. The spiritual world calls it destiny. But you don't need fancy words for what you feel. You just know. You know that some people touch you in places that have nothing to do with skin. They touch the part of you that existed before this lifetime and will exist after it. And that kind of touch doesn't wash off just because someone stops calling. It stays. It echoes. It becomes part of your cellular memory, woven into the fabric of who you are. Now I need you to sit with something uncomfortable, something that's going to ache before it heals. What if this person didn't come into your life to stay? What if they came to crack you open, to expose the wound you've been covering with noise and busyness and false smiles? Because that's what they did, isn't it? They walked into your carefully constructed world, and within moments, days, weeks, they dismantled every wall you spent years building. They made you feel things you swore you'd never feel again after the last time you were shattered. And when they left, or faded, or simply stopped trying, they didn't just take themselves. They took the illusion that you were okay. They revealed the truth that you've been lonely inside a crowded life. That you've been waiting for permission to want love without apology. That you've been performing strength while your heart quietly starved. And if this is landing somewhere deep inside you, if you feel seen right now in a way that makes your chest tight, then do something for me. Hit that like button and subscribe. because what comes next is going to change everything you thought you knew about why you can't let go. Here's the part where we get devastatingly honest. You didn't fall in love with them. You fell in love with the space they created for your imagination to run wild. They gave you just enough. A look, a laugh, a late-night conversation that felt like finally coming home. And your heart did what hearts do. It filled in the blanks. It wrote the rest of the story. It took their maybe and turned it into destiny. It took their I'm not ready and translated it to he's just scared of how much he feels. You built entire futures with someone who couldn't even show up for a present. You gave them lines they never said, emotions they never felt, intentions they never had. And the version of them that lives in your mind is so beautiful, so perfect, so exactly what you needed, that the real them could never compete. This is the trap. You're not mourning who they were. You're mourning who you needed them to be. And the hardest part of letting go isn't accepting that they're gone. It's accepting that the person you loved never actually existed outside the cathedral of your own hope. But here's the strange grace in this devastation. The fact that you could imagine that kind of love, that you could dream that big, that you could hope that hard, means the capacity for that love lives in you, not in them, in you. Your body remembers things your mind tries to forget. It remembers the exact timbre of their voice, the way your skin felt electric when they were close, the specific quality of peace that settled in your chest when they smiled at you like you were the only person in the room. And now, even though they're not calling, even though logic says to move on, your body is still searching for that feeling. It's why you feel restless at night, why you reach for your phone compulsively, why certain songs make you physically ache, why you can walk into a coffee shop and smell their cologne on a stranger and feel your heart stop. This is cellular memory. Your nervous system got addicted to the calm they provided, to the dopamine hit of their attention, to the oxytocin flood of feeling chosen even temporarily. And now your body is in withdrawal. It's grieving the loss of a drug it never got enough of. This isn't weakness. This is biology meeting soul wound. Your body is trying to return to homeostasis, to find that feeling of safety and aliveness it briefly touched. But it's looking in the wrong place. It's looking outside when the truth is, you have to become the source of your own peace. You have to learn to give yourself the feeling you've been begging someone else to provide. And that's not easy. That's the work that breaks you open before it makes you whole. What if I told you this pain is a portal? That this person came into your life not to complete you but to shatter the illusion that you needed completing in the first place? Every spiritual tradition talks about it. The dark night of the soul, the breaking that precedes becoming, the death that must happen before rebirth. And you're in it right now. This feeling, this obsessive thinking, this inability to let go. It's not pathology, it's initiation. You're being asked to face the deepest wound you carry, the wound that says you're only lovable when someone chooses you, the wound that says your worth is determined by who stays, the wound that whispers you're too much and not enough all at the same time. This person's silence is holding up a mirror, and the reflection is showing you every place you've abandoned yourself, waiting for someone else to come back. Every time you dimmed your light, hoping it would make you easier to love. Every time you accepted crumbs and called it a feast. This is the sacred breaking. And on the other side of it, if you're brave enough to walk through instead of around, you'll find something most people never find: yourself. Not the self that needs validation, not the self that performs and pleases and shrinks, but the self that exists independent of anyone's opinion, anyone's presence, anyone's love. The self that was whole before they arrived and remains whole after they're gone. So here's where your story actually begins. Not with them calling back, not with closure or apologies or the fairy tale ending your heart keeps writing. It begins with you making a choice. The choice to stop waiting for someone else to give you permission to live fully. The choice to take all this love, all this devotion, all this fierce loyalty you've been pouring into someone who couldn't hold it, and turn it inward, toward yourself, toward your dreams. toward the life that's been waiting for you to show up for it, the way you showed up for them. This doesn't mean you stop feeling. It means you stop letting the feeling run your life. It means you honor what was, the beauty and the lesson and the brief glimpse of what love could feel like. And then you close that chapter with grace. You whisper thank you for waking me up. And then you walk forward, because here's what nobody tells you. The right person won't make you feel like this. They won't leave you checking your phone at 2 a.m. They won't make you question if you're enough. When real love shows up, it will feel like relief, like finally exhaling after holding your breath for years, like coming home to yourself. And until then, you don't wait, you build. You become so full, so whole, so deeply in love with your own existence that when the right person finally appears, they won't be filling a void. They'll be meeting an equal. If this video cracked something open in you, share it with someone who needs these words. Subscribe, because your healing matters and you don't have to do it alone. And remember, the fact that they don't call doesn't diminish your light. It just means they were never meant to be the one who gets to bask in it. Your light was always, always yours.